Hi there, welcome to Kneppy Invest. In today's video, I'm going to be concentrating on a company called AI Media. Originally, this company got onto my radar just over 1 year ago when they released their Appendix 4C for the financial year 21 June quarter. And this company was operating cash flow positive by over $5 million in that one quarter. So I thought it's very important for this company to continue that momentum going in the September quarters and the December quarters. Unfortunately for the company, and at this point in time, AI Media had not released any financial year 22 guidance. And then an analyst who was following the company in November last year released a report in regards to what they thought the financial year 22 numbers were going to be for AI Media. And those numbers were not favorable. And we did see the share price take a little bit of a plunge because of that. And the fact the share price fell from being above $1 to about 70 cents. And actually, I did take a position in this company for a brief period of time because I thought the market potentially was overreacting. But the market or the share price of this company kept on falling from then. In fact, it fell from 70 cents all the way down to one point less than 30 cents. So the share price was in a well-defined downtrend, a little bit of negative sentiment in regards to this company as well. And the company affirmed that analysis report as well. So you'll be able to see the cash receipts numbers over the past year. We haven't seen any growth, and that is a concerning thing for this company moving forward. However, in saying all that, we did see the company release a really interesting announcement in regards to a Google contract. And the market absolutely loved this announcement. Share price did pop up on the back of it, and looks like potentially, I'm just going to say potentially right now, does look like potentially that the downtrend in the share price has come to a completion, and the share price at least is moving sideways. And if the company can continue releasing some good news, maybe we'll see the share price move into an uptrend. And I'd love to see the company release some really good financial news to confirm any sort of uptrend we do start seeing in the share price of this company. Now onto what AI Media does. Now this company was founded back in 2003 by Alex Jones and Tony Abrahams. Tony Abrahams is the current CEO. Alex Jones was actually born deaf. And one of the problems about being deaf, in his opinion, was the lack of accessibility to information. And Tony Abrahams was a fairly intelligent guy based on the fact that he was a Rhodes Scholar, and he was looking for a way to make a meaningful impact on the world, hence AI Media. So they wanted to end the experience of social, educational, and vocational exclusion faced by people with disability. So AI Media is all about captioning and transcripts, not only for people with disabilities, but also people whose first language isn't English. Now on to a few other facts in regards to the company. I've already mentioned what they do: captioning, transcription, and translation services. Founded in 2003 by Tony Abrahams and Alex Jones. And Tony Abrahams is the current CEO. He also has a 13.3% stake in the game. So skin in the game, and that is very important for me. And in fact, quite a few other investors as well. In fact, some investors has that as one of the major things they do look for in an investment. The company is about to celebrate their 2-year anniversary on the ASX. I'm not sure if companies actually do that, but they listed on the ASX on the 15th of September, 2020. And one of the interesting shareholders in this company is WH Soul Patterson. They have a 3.4% stake in the game. So the way I look at this company, if WH Soul Patterson likes AI Media, then there must be something in this company to really like. And the current market cap of AI Media is 74 million. That's a share price of 36 cents. So significantly down from where we saw the market cap just 1 year ago. And the ticker for this company is an unexciting AIM. Before we have a look at the Appendix 4Cs for AI Media, and be looking at the June quarter results from financial year 21 and just comparing those results to the June quarter results for financial year 22, I just wanted to touch upon this Google contract that the company did, AI Media did release a few weeks ago. And this is an important contract or important announcement, in my opinion, mostly because of who it's with, and that's Google. So this was only a $5 million contract or agreement over a 3-year period, and it gives Google employees access to AI Media's range of premium and secure multilingual captioning services. And I think one of the reasons I'm excited about this contract and why the market is excited about this contract or this announcement is because it gives a legitimacy to what AI Media is trying to do with their services, with their products. And when other companies see that AI Media has a contract with Google in regards to their multilingual captioning services, there is potential that other companies will make contact with the AI Media and want their services and their products without AI Media going out there trying to win these companies over with whatever they're going to do, their salesmanship, whatever. So that's the reason I think this is an important contract, an important announcement, just because of who it's with. Now on to the Appendix 4Cs for AI Media. And before we have a look at the June quarter results for financial year 22, I just want to go back 1 year ago to the quarter that put this company onto my radar, the June quarter for financial year 21. Now, receipts for customers in this particular quarter, 17.9 million. But the more important number was found right at the bottom here, the net cash from operating activities. This company was operating cash flow positive by over $5 million. But that's not the end of the story here. You just can't look at one quarter in isolation. We have to see how the company has performed over an extended period of time. And fortunately, in this particular Appendix 4C, they have a year-to-date or 12 months in the following column or the next column. And the company was actually operating cash flow negative for the full financial year by $3.3 million. The other things to take note here in regards to this particular quarter, they raised capital, $40 million of capital. And one of the reasons they raised capital was they did make an acquisition, a $28.7 million of acquisition. But they had a little bit of cash or extra cash because of that capital raising. And that's why the cash on hand actually increased from $4.4 million to $17.8 million. So with $17.8 million in the coffers, and if the company could remain operating cash flow positive, that cash on hand would actually grow. So it gives a bit of flexibility to the management of the company in regards to their capital allocation decisions. So with money on hand, particularly if they are generating cash in operations, they could decide to make another acquisition or maybe some more research and development to improve their products or services, maybe a dividend or a share buyback. And in fact, share buyback is exactly what management decided to do with that extra cash on hand. The other reason why the management probably decided to do share buyback is they believed the valuation of this company was less than what it should be. Now on to the June quarter results for financial year 22. So what I'm looking for here is growth in receipts. And if we don't see that, at least the company remaining operating cash flow positive. So unfortunately, receipts down $2 million from 1 year ago. But fortunately, they have not really ramped up their spending. In fact, product manufacturing operating costs steady, not grown at all. Staff costs up $1.3 million. Administration costs up $300,000. But because costs haven't really grown at a significant rate, the company is still operating cash flow positive, $1.1 million in this quarter and $3.5 million for the full financial year. So they are continuing on their share buyback, and the cash on hand actually increased in this quarter from $14.3 million to $15.2 million. So still plenty of cash on hand for the company's management to play with. Now onto the receipts history for AI Media. And preferably when I'm looking at receipts history for any company, I want to see at least 8 quarters or 2 years of history before I determine or confirm any trend in receipts. And trend in receipts is very important to me. I want to see a company growing their receipts, their revenue over time, because the only way you can sustainably grow profits, can sustainably grow free cash flow and operating cash flow over the long term is by growing your receipts, by growing your revenue, by finding more customers or clients to sell your products or services to. And fortunately for AI media, we have 2 years of history here, or 8 quarters, and the trend is up. If you look at the full picture here, the full 8 quarters. So receipts have grown from $9 million to $15.9 million. But if you take a shorter time frame and only look at the last 5 quarters, receipts are going sideways. So this is a slight concern to me, maybe even growing more than slight at this point in time, because receipts look like they are stagnant. They're just going sideways. So this is one little red flag for me when it comes to AI media. And I'd like to see receipts starting to grow over the next few quarters. And if we don't see that, that red flag would continue to fester. Now let's have a look at AI Media's chart, and this is their daily chart going back to August of 2021. And at this point in time, this company was on my radar. It was a company I was following. I wanted to see that momentum in that really stellar June quarter continue into the following quarters. And one of the reasons I was hesitant about taking a position in this company back then was I found the valuation to be a little bit too rich for my liking. If they could maintain being operating cash flow positive by over $5 million in the September quarters, the June quarters, I think this company would have been way more interesting. But unfortunately, in November last year, there was that analysis report released in regards to underwhelming financial year 22 numbers for the company. At that point in time, the company had not released any financial guidance. And the share price actually dropped from about $1 to the mid 70-cent range in 2 days of trading. In fact, it fell below 70 cents at one point in time on the day after that analysis report was released. And then the share price went sideways for a while. At 70 cents, I thought there was some value in AI media back then. But because the share price went sideways and there was no bounce, I decided to sell out after a few weeks. And that analysis report was a catalyst for re-rating in this company's valuation. And that's why the share price took a plunge. In fact, the share price fell from about 70 cents all the way down to a low of 22 cents, which was reached towards the end of June of this year. So you can just see that well-defined downtrend from October last year or November last year all the way through to June. But it does look like there is potential that this downtrend has come to a completion. There is potential that this negative sentiment in this company is turning around. And of course, that Google contract was, or possibly is, one of the reasons why there is a little bit more positive sentiment in this company. Now, on the back of that Google contract, the share price did increase from 35 cents towards 40 cents. So a nice little pop up on the back of that contract. But the share price has pulled back over the last few days, pulled back to 35 cents. So if you are interested, if you do like the future potential of AI media, now might be the time you want to take a position with this little pullback over the last few days. That's all I have for this video on AI media, focusing on their June quarter results for financial year 21 and 22. Also touching upon the Google contract, which I do think might be a significant contract in regards to the future of this company. If you have any thoughts in regards to AI media, any opinion or any questions, just leave it in the comment section of this video. Otherwise, I'm not a financial advisor. If you do need financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who is qualified and can speak to your own financial needs. That's it for this video. Have a good day. Bye.